Government students, welcome. It's a Friday when this lesson was due, and I'm going to go over what is going on with Unit 2, Lesson 2, Natural Law, Government, and the State. Really delving into the material. If you didn't watch yesterday's recording or didn't do yesterday's lesson, hey, there's a lesson already on the message board. You can read that or listen to that. But let's go over here. So right now we're talking about organized states. Now this is where students get confused because when you think states, you normally think the state of South Carolina or the state of Oklahoma. But this is a different type state. States are like types, usually nations, how their governments are formed. So this state is a lowercase s, whereas states in the Americas are uppercase s. I know that's confusing. It's just the way it is. So country states, smaller case s, and United States, uppercase s. Seems like a lot going into that, but it's true. It gets confusing. But anyways, let's just go to the lesson. Enough of me. But I'm still down here. All right, so imagine you're taking a trip driving from the United States to Canada. You arrive at the border, and after having your passport checked in normal times, when we could travel, you simply continue driving. The scenery looks the same, but now you're in Canada instead of the United States. Though you never saw a naturally occurring line in the ground marking the border, everyone in the world agrees that you have crossed into Canadian territory. You must now obey a different set of laws, and the people around you are citizens of Canada, and rather than citizens of the United States. How did the world come to be organized like this into different states, into different nations, into states? What theories and ideas influenced the establishment of the United States? Looking at this map right here.
You've got mail.
I've got mail. Apply the characteristics to the state of the United States. That's what we're looking at today. So we're going to apply the characteristics of the state of the United States. Yeah, interesting. And we're going to compare and contrast different theories of government that influence the structure of the American government. All right, so look, characteristics of the state to the United States. So the United States is a state filled with states. Okay. Anyways, keywords. Aristotle. Yep, going back in time. Hopefully you remember that from, I believe, 6th, 7th grade. 7th grade. Democracy, dictatorship, population, social contract theory, sovereign, states, territories. Make sure you know all of that. If you do these things, go ahead and get out, here I am, your notebooks, and go ahead and copy down those words and that adjective. That way you'll know what you're looking for when you go through this lesson. All right, so on to number 2. What makes a state? How are Canada and the United States similar? How are they different? Each state has different people living in it, different territories under its control, and a different form of government that makes domestic and foreign policy. However, these differences, there are also similarities. In fact, there are 4 characteristics common to all states, all nations, but we like to use the word states and government. Those are population, the people who live there, territory, the actual land itself, sovereignty, how they take care of that land, and government, okay, how they set up their laws and things such as that. Think of any state in the world today and you can observe these characteristics. In this lesson, you will learn more about each characteristics of a state and how states originate. It rhymes, but we're talking about how states come together. All right, this is where I am. If you're watching the recordings, we're all watching the recordings. We're not doing a live lesson today. Go ahead and look at the 4 characteristics of a state, okay? Now, I'll bring it up. Why not? All right, so the first is population. Large or small, every state must have a population. On the map, more intense colors indicate more people per square kilometer. Okay, that's not actually happening right there because I don't see that. Do you see that? On territory. No, I don't want to print. No, I still don't want to print. There we go. See, things happen, guys, when you're going through these lessons. Just try. That's all it takes is just trying, going through them, learning, and there'll be things that work and don't work, but we're going to make it work. Population, large or small, every state must be inhibited, that is, have population on the map. The more intense color in the states, the more people per square kilometer. Unfortunately, that part's not working, but you can figure that out. Every state must have land with known and recognized boundaries. Countries are not the same size, but all have borders, okay, the cross. Sovereignty. A state that has absolute power within its territory and decides its own foreign and domestic policies. The way that it controls what happens inside, it makes laws, it picks what it wants to do. That's what sovereignty is. You don't have sovereignty over your house because your parents usually do. You might have sovereignty over your room or your tree house where you control things that are... You have a tree house? Has anyone ever had a tree house? But anyways, you might have sovereignty over a small part of your home that you control, but itself, sovereignty is where you as a country control everything that goes on. And then you have the government. A government is the mechanism through which a state makes and enforces its policies. In general, governments can be classified according to whether they are democracies, authoritarian regimes, or fall somewhere in the middle. Democracies, the people vote on the rules and laws, or they vote on people who vote on the rules and laws. And authoritarian regime is where some guy takes over, or some lady takes over, occasionally, and makes everything go to whatever they want to happen. All right, there we go. 4 characteristics of a state. Done. Check. Oh. Okay. Oh, what is one characteristic that distinguishes the state from other lesser political units? Let's see. Sovereignty. Yay! Got that right. Yes, I know I'm the government teacher and I should have known that automatically, but yay! We're moving on. Alright, so yeah, that was great. Fun times. Alright, select the link to access the 4 characteristics of a state text version. Select the link to check your answers. Alright, done that. Do that. Alright, there we go. Oh, and you look at the textbooks right down here. Like I said, this is your high school education. I'm going through this quickly. You guys are going to spend a little more time. When you come to this part, or you listen to me, pause me, and start going through this and learn more about states on to page 3 of today's lesson. 50% done. History proves that there is no single model or origin of the state. Have you heard the phrase, to the victor goes the spoils? In times of war, the victorious state often claims the opponent's territory. If you go fight a different group and you win, you get to take their stuff and their territory. That's the way it used to be, forcing its rule over a population and claiming sovereignty. And other times, a state arose from a small group of people, like a tribe, occupying a territory and claiming it for their own group, therefore creating a sovereign state. There are 4 theories of how states came to be. Force theory, divine right of kings theory, social contract theory, and evolutionary theory. So we're talking about how states are born. So I'm going to actually do something real quick. I'm going to switch the way that we're looking at this. That way it looks more like I'm looking at you guys than looking over there. And so this should be a lot better. Okie dokie. Back to the lesson. Nope, that's not going to work. Still here. Alrighty, so... this looks like I'm looking over here, but I see you guys. I know you're there. I know you're paying attention. Mr. Gault, keep teaching. Be quiet. Alright, so how read out states arose on page 7 to the middle of page 9 in the textbook. So you click on that. The book pops up. We're wanting to go to page 7. It's already on page 7. They want you to analyze the maps, look at what sovereignty is, government is. Should you do this? Yes. You should do this. Go to your book right now. Click on it. Pause me. Read it. 7. 8. Ooh, this is a great graphic right here. I'm liking that. Ooh, let's go to that. Let's look at that. Where's that at? Put that up right here. Historical theories of the origins of state. Force theory. An individual or group claim control over the territory and force the population to submit. In this way, the state became sovereign, and those in control formed a government. Then there's the divine rights of kings. Therefore, God created the state, making it sovereign. The government is made up of those chosen by God to rule certain territories. The population must obey the rules. You're like, that seems crazy, Mr. Gault. England, Great Britain right now, still kind of the same thing. Evolutionary theory. Population formed out of primitive families. The heads of those families became the government. When those families settled in one territory and claimed it as their own, they became a sovereign state. That's pretty cool. And so that's where families take control. Do you see that a lot in tribal areas? That's pretty cool. I like that one. And the social contract theory. A population in a given territory gave up as much power to a government as needed to promote the well-being of all. And in doing so, they created a sovereign state. Which one do you think we are, guys? Nah. I'm going to go between force theory and social contract theory because we kind of took over the land from a lot of people. But more often, our government, even though we did take the land from a lot of people, we said, hey, y'all, we're going to give the control to a central government to take care of everyone. That's more of a social contract theory. That's the one we mostly claim. Okay, anyway, read that and read halfway through page 9. Good lesson. I'm liking it. All right, so do that, and then you'll go to 4. Boom, social contract theory. Complete the following activities. All right, so you guys are going to do this on your own on your Friday. How many times is that? No, you guys got plenty of time. This is easy stuff. Social contract theory is a political philosophy basing on the founding documents and the reestablishment of the United States. Select the play button to access the John Locke natural rights. John Locke, natural rights. John Locke, that's a guy's name you need to know. In this world, in this country, you need to know John Locke. You should remember John Locke from middle school if you don't remember John Locke. Now it's time to learn John Locke. Learn John Locke. And you can do that by this video right here. Click on it. I'm not going to click on it now because it'd be echoey and everything else. And you have access to this. Go through your lessons. Actually learn this stuff. Know about government. Learn it now. And then you'll use this example of the Declaration of Independence to answer the questions that follow. So read this part of the Declaration of the Independence. Can I read the Declaration of Independence? I love reading the Declaration of Independence. Here we are, reading the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them into separation. Ooh, the Declaration of Independence. If you haven't taken U.S. history, you will. It's the greatest breakup letter ever written between the United States saying, yeah, England, it was a nice run, but we're going to go on our own now. Great. They go through it. They're using a lot of Enlightenment theories of saying, we're going to go on our own. And we're still, today, after the Articles of Confederation was a failure, we got the Constitution, which kind of based off, it all started right here, the Declaration of Independence. Great. Go through that. Check your answers there. All right. Boom. 5 origins of the state, not of the United. I'm still thinking, you mean like the state of Kentucky? No. State as in governments formed. Small s, not the big S, which would be the United States, or the states. You'll get it. Select the image to complete the origin of the state interactive interview. Note the characteristics of a state that make up each theory and how they reflect the theory. So you're going to do that. It's fun. It's exciting. Do it. It's Friday, but do it anyway. Pause. Do it. Welcome back. Did you do it? Or did you just let the thing play through and you didn't even pause and do it if you didn't do it? Alright. Trusting you that you did it. Alright, moving on. Modification. Select the link to complete the alternative activity. If you can't do that activity, do this activity. Select the link to cite a chart on the first column. List organization of things theory. There are force theory, divine right, king's theory, social contract theory. Go back to that really cool graphic in your notebook. I mean, not in your notebook. Oh, you probably should take notes. But in your textbook, do that. Do 2-column chart. You can do it on Google Drive. I'm sorry, you can do it on a Google Doc, or you can use a notebook. You have to turn it into me. Nope, it's your notes. But you want to know this stuff because you want to know government and you want to learn this stuff. To 6, it's the quick check time. Quick checks don't matter, but we want you to do them anyway. I mean, if you fail all of them, then quick checks only count 5% of your grade, and you have like 20 of them to do. So if you bomb one, it's going to be okay. But actually try to do this. Let's do it together. Start assessment. Sam Gault is taking this assessment. That's me. All right, the 4 characteristics of a state: population, territory, sovereignty, government. This chart lists the 4 characteristics that all states share. Which of these characteristics represents the system a state uses to make and enforce public policy? Well, it's not population. We know that. It's not territory. We know that. So it's really between sovereignty and government. Sovereignty is being able to make all the rules and having control over your state, and government is kind of the system that does that. I see the system. Government is more of a system, so I want to go with government there. We'll see. If I fail, I fail. If I fail, I fail. I don't think I'm going to fail, but if I fail, I fail. How is force theory similar to the social contract theory? Okay. Force theory is where they came in and took it over. Social contract said, we together should do this. All right. So both theories give the population a choice about how much power to give their leader. Neither theory relies on religion as a source of power. That's true. That's true. Both theories expect the population to absolutely obey their leader. Yeah. In both theories, the leader is granted power through his family size. No. All right. So both theories give the population a choice about how much power to give the leader. No. Neither theory relies on religion as a source of power. I'm thinking that one is true. Yeah, I'm thinking that one because social contract theory, you don't always have to face that around your beliefs in God. I'm going B. So quick check, man. According to John Locke's social contract theory, who should hold power? The government, the people, the president, or the legislature? John Locke, he really liked the people. He wanted the people to come together and have the government. But I think he is a person who believed in the people. Here we go. If I fail this could be the most embarrassing moment in the history of the world. If I miss one question, I got a D. Yes! Ha ha! Woo! Yes, I have a college degree, and that's the first. Anyways, boom, did it with you. I hope you guys have a great Friday. Please read those things if you didn't read them. Have a good one.